see, but that still isn't enough for you to change complexes?
No, it's because the price is really cheap. Like,
okay.
I mean, like,
so,
really cheap.
Okay, and you say you don't mind the location being far away.
Yeah, I don't mind. Like, it's just we only have the slowest bus line, but it's fine. It works.
Right.
But yeah, like I think it's just how a person thinks. You know, like.
Okay.
Are you gonna take a look at that as a disadvantage, or you won't even care because you know how competent you are or whatever,
right.
You know? But yeah, like I think it bogs down to like what's the price of, what's your living price, like what can you live off, and balancing. Everyone is a student here, so balancing studies and your life. You don't want to be stressed out like, oh, I need to make this much money so I can pay for my way of living, rather than like, I can live cheap and then at the same time I can do well in my studies. I think that's kind of sums it up. But
cool.
Having a landlord, it's just.
Yeah, I was interested for you guys. Yeah, what's your experiences with your landlord?
My experience with the landlord, I've had this like a lot of people have had troubles with them, but it's just they just don't care. They're just like,
okay,
I'm gonna charge you this price and deal with it, and just like. It's like, okay, like it's pretty cheap for me, like it's pretty cheap, but the house is, not that nice, kind of like a dump. I mean, it's not like we work on it, you make it your own, and it's kind of like nice, but the dishwasher will back up, and like you get a bunch of shit, and like next thing you know, all your showers are overflowing. You're like, all right, can we get someone to come out to this and fix it? And like you call her like over and over again, and finally she'll get someone to come out, but she won't send out like actual help. It'll be like her handyman, who's just some guy and looks at it and goes, yeah, I can't do anything about this. We'll call some guys. Like, okay.
Yeah, I think that's.
Why did you come out?
That's one thing about like apartments versus houses, because apartments, like you can call them and then you're gonna be like, oh, we're gonna be right there. For example, my apartment complex, like they're really incompetent, but one of the handymans there just live in the apartment complex.
Okay. So he's always there.
Yeah, so if you're really nice to him, I'm really nice to him. I can just knock on their door like, hey, our doorknob's messed up and all that, and he's gonna do that for me. And those kinds of. I think that's a nice advantage right there.
Cool.
I think it's a matter of like caring. Like I've heard horror stories about Ally, like dead rats in the basement, but like they won't do anything about it because it's not part of the house, or like not sending someone over until they're like threatened because their water's off. Just like just not caring. And I think that they can because they're rich.
Okay.
I have Ally before, so I don't know if it's my personality or whatnot, but I guess they're not that. So they're okay.
Okay. Do you see the same things that they see, or it's just?
I think they get annoyed of us because we live above them. So like any problem, like we go down there.
Is Allied the one directly below you? Okay.
It's right next to the cell phone store and next to the inconvenience store. But
right. Okay. Cool. And then you were saying the same.
Yeah, because when it was like really raining during winter quarter, I have a skylight in my room, so like you kind of like see, and there's water leaking. Yeah. And it like completely ruined one of my books. It was just like little drops, and I was like not at home the whole time, and so I'm like, okay, this is not cool, So I go and tell them like, like it's leaking, and it didn't leak after that because it like kind of stopped raining. And I'm like, can you guys come fix it? Like there's like probably mildew in there, like what's going on, sort of thing. And all they said, well, our roofs are flat, so that's kind of that's gonna happen, sort of thing. And like, just let me know if it happens again. And I don't know, it was more like he didn't care, like, okay, we'll take a look, like didn't make me feel like, okay, it's gonna get taken care of. It's like whatever, like.
Okay, so there's a definite common thread there that the bigger landlords don't care as much, and because of that, the service suffers a lot.
I'm not sure about that because the apartment we live in Lakeshore Apartments, and I can't remember the umbrella company, but it's a pretty big one, and our landlord's great. She's really nice. Like we have, whenever we put in a work order for anything, they're over within hours.
Okay, and it's with the manager of Lakeshore though, not the parent company.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We have a manager. And we never talk with the parent company manager. We have our property manager
through Lakeshore.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool. I had a thought, but then I lost it. cool. I'm actually gonna ask if they have any questions that they want to ask. Based on this, I think we're. You can just ask it, Jordan. You don't have to be quiet.
They weren't looking, so we're pointing now.
Well, I can't see it.
What?
I'm right here. I can't see it.
Excuse me for a moment.
Oh, really? Like, we're in such small class? Or so this whole time you didn't know what I was at?
Yeah.
Yep. Hey, Chris. Good? Yeah.
Jackpot.
I shouldn't have opened that.
You lived before that house.
From 1 to 10, how bad is it if I get one of those?
You're
two?
doing so good!
Yeah,
I
right.
have two already.
Nice.
We're like all sprouting. Except for
Oh, that's awesome.
water
Melon.
melon.
Water.
Oh no, they have one. I still have two. Okay,
Oh,
sorry.
there's I might do one piece of cinnamon.
Oh yeah, there is cinnamon bread.
Gonna take a small
I'll go back.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't feel like anything again. I was just kidding.
The Lakeshore apartments are really nice.
They are.
No, that's the
Ruth lived there, you know, remember?
There's 4 of us in total, so
I'll take that little piece.
Okay, so we have a couple more questions before we
I think
finish.
it's like a family work. That's also probably why they're so good memory wise.
So, how do you guys feel about, I guess, when you live in an apartment complex, do you feel like you're ever connected to that larger complex? Or, like, in, say, I guess in Lakeshore, do you feel connected with the Lakeshore community? Would you consider it a community?
Not really, because it's not really a college apartment complex. Like it's not really many that college students that live there. Last year we lived next door to our friends, and then we met the people across from us, but that's about it. We don't really know anyone outside of our apartment this year because both of them moved out.
I was saying when Chautauqua, there's a lot of families that live in Chautauqua too, like that aren't students and they don't like interact, but like we met people that are like across from us and that's it. And then it's very quiet in my apartment complex, but like places like Arlington, those are crazy. So I mean, they have more of a community. I guess it just depends on the place.
So it sounds like they definitely have developed a culture, I guess, with Arlington.
Yeah.
Okay.
Sure. For my apartment complex, it's like a low income housing. So basically, you know, like I've seen a couple of students there, but most of them are like families.
Okay.
And you know, our management tried to reach out actually. Like they're sending flyers like, produce day every Wednesday. You can just drop by and then first come first serve, get free food, or like free ice cream every Thursday. Like candle making, something like that. So they're trying to reach out.
Sick.
And do you actually go to any of these events?
No. Because as a student, like you have stuff to do. But I've went home late sometime, not that late, like around 8, and people were actually there. At some point they have family problems agenda, like anyone that just like a psychologist or whatever they call it, that come there and then just like help them out.
It seems like they offer free service.
Yeah. So they actually reach out. So that kind of feels nice, like somebody's like looking out for you somehow,
I guess to bring that back here, what sort of events would you guys be interested in? I guess to help create like a bigger apartment community, or is that something that's just not important to you?
Free food.
Okay.
They're gonna offer that. I mean,
Yeah. Do you think people will? Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay.
For me, I'm not at my apartment enough, I feel like, to need the community, because I have community in Davis as a whole, There's, I know people all over the place, and I go there and have community, I guess. And so when I'm, the times that I'm at my apartment are like times when I'm like studying and don't really need to be in groups of people or, doing things, or I'm sleeping, so.
Well, it's fair.
I mean, Lakeshore tried to do bingo night, but Didn't really, didn't really catch up.
Okay.
I think it's hard in a student environment. Like it's different if you're gonna grow up. Like if you live in an apartment complex in the city or something like that.
Right.
Then an apartment complex reaching out to that age group is gonna be a lot different because the students they have their own thing. Like the only reason Arlington has a big community because it's all sophomores.
Right.
Like you have the one side of Arlington that's all sophomores and they all hang out together. Then there's the other side who has like families and random stuff like that. And so like it's not necessarily that Arlington's doing it. It's just the fact that there's it's their own
The
community.
students,
Yeah.
Okay.
That's the same with like dorms. I feel like
Exactly.
that's why they do the community events because of the age group and where we're at. So
Okay.
it made sense in that.
So
Every
that kind of brings up another interesting question. How much time do you guys spend at home?
You can address that.